Have you ever looked at solar panels on a really rainy day and thought, well, what now? Are they just sitting there? Especially for a city like Indianapolis, which gets its fair share of rain. That's a pretty important question. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something fascinating. Rain-powered solar. Could this actually change the game for renewables here? We're looking at insights from a white paper by Black Knight Power.
It's a great place to focus, Indianapolis. You've got this humid continental climate, right? Lots of precipitation year-round. We're talking, what, 42, maybe 43 inches a year on average? It's actually more than the U.S. average.
Right.
And something like 128 days with some kind of precipitation.
Yeah.
So yeah, for standard solar panels, that consistent cloud cover, that rain, it's a challenge.
How much of a challenge? Like, what does it do to efficiency?
Well, efficiency can drop, 10 to 25%, even with light clouds, heavy overcast, maybe 50%. And on those really pouring days, you're looking at almost nothing, near zero output.
Okay, so that's a big gap, which brings us to this rain-powered idea. How on earth does that work? It's not tiny water wheels, is it?
No, nothing like that. It's much more nanoscale. The key tech is called a Triboelectric nanogenerator, tinning for short.
Tinning, okay.
Yeah. So imagine a clear layer, super thin, made of these tinnings, sitting right on top of the regular solar panel. When raindrops hit that layer, the impact's kinetic energy gets converted into electricity. It works through something called liquid-solid contact electrification.
Like static electricity, almost.
Kind of, yeah. Similar principle. A key material they often use is graphene, that amazing one-atom-thick carbon sheet. It helps facilitate the charge generation when it interacts with ions in the rainwater. Researchers, particularly in China, have done a lot of work modeling these droplet-based tins to make them more efficient.
So for Indy, that sounds, well, incredibly useful. Continuous power, rain or shine. Optimizing the panel's already there. But what's the catch? It sounds almost too good to be true right now. Are there big limitations?
Oh, absolutely. That's the reality check. The main thing is efficiency. The amount of energy you get from a raindrop is still, well, much, much lower than what you get from direct sunlight.
Okay.
It highlights that this is very much early-stage technology. It's not something you can just buy off the shelf and install widely yet. The power output from a single raindrop is tiny. So scaling it up to be practical for, powering homes or businesses, that needs a lot more development and optimization. Big hurdle there.
Right. So while the rain power tech matures, we should remember Indianapolis isn't just waiting around, right? The city's already doing quite a bit with solar, despite the cloudy days.
Exactly. They haven't let the climate stop them. Indy has some really impressive solar projects already up and running.
Like what?
Well, there's the huge solar farm at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's about 9 megawatts.
Wow.
Yeah, powers around 1,000 homes. And then there's the Bellflower Solar Farm, even bigger, 173 megawatts. They're even doing cool agrivoltaics there, like grazing sheep under the panels. And don't forget the Maywood Solar Farm. That one's built on a former Superfund site, which is a great way to reuse land. These are big investments.
And these existing sites, maybe they could be retrofitted someday with this Tane tech.
That's definitely one of the future possibilities, yes, using the infrastructure that's already in place.
Now, I also heard about something interesting up in Fort Wayne. Floating solar panels. That sounds like a smart adaptation for Indiana.
It really is a fantastic example. Fort Wayne City Utilities put floating solar panels on their wet weather storage ponds. Just installed them back in September 2023.
Wet weather ponds, so double duty.
Precisely. The ponds still do their main job, managing stormwater. But now that unused surface area is generating power for the city's water and sewer plants. It's part of a microgrid, expected to save millions, cut greenhouse gases for those facilities by almost 20%. Really clever use of space.
Okay, so bringing it all together, what does this mean for Indianapolis going forward? What are the real opportunities here with rain-powered solar, even if it's early days?
Well, there are a few clear paths, strategically. First, as you said, potentially retrofitting those big existing farms like the IMS one with 10 layers once the tech is more mature.
Makes sense.
Second, Indianapolis could definitely look at floating solar, like Fort Wayne did, maybe on its own municipal water reservoirs or ponds. That seems like a natural fit, potentially combining sun and rain harvesting. Third, thinking about hybrid systems, combining traditional solar, the rain-powered component when it's ready, and crucially, energy storage batteries to provide reliable power regardless of the weather.
And testing it out, I imagine.
Absolutely essential. Setting up small-scale pilot programs right here in Indianapolis We need real-world data to see how this tech actually performs in this specific climate over time.
It really is an exciting prospect, though. Indianapolis potentially leading the way in making renewable energy truly weather resilient by integrating these new ideas.
It is. It combines that forward-thinking approach the city already shows with this cutting-edge innovation. And maybe the final thought for you listening is this. If we can harness both sun and rain, how does that change our whole idea of what a good place for solar power even is? What other things in nature, things we maybe saw as problems before, could actually become energy sources down the road?